Well, according to all these numbers that show down here,
Cool. Hello. Is anybody watching? You can't tell.
It's only like our second time we've done it. It's the first time with people.
First one was Raft, right?
Yeah, you played Raft.
How'd you do?
I turned some stuff into other things.
That sounds That's great.
Sounds like a normal weekend.
Sure.
Excellent. Liz would like to know if she wants to pledge for full system, does she update the amount of the pledge, or would we add those in the pledge?
This is a common question, and we're going to answer that in the FAQs. Either way, basically. So you can pledge to hold your space right now, and then 2 weeks after the campaign ends, we'll have the pledge manager open up, and that's when you choose your exact configuration. Or you can put up the money that you want to budget in now, and that'll come out of your account the day the Kickstarter campaign ends. You'll also have 2 weeks after that for the pledge manager to open. You can add more to your pledge. Basically, you can go any way but down on the pledge manager.
I think generally it's more advantageous for us to do a new Kickstarter because Kickstarter metrics push us up.
Right.
No pressure.
Yep. No pressure. We really don't care. But the bigger the project is on the Kickstarter platform, the more people see it, the more it's recommended, stuff like that.
72 back.
Nice. That's a great start. We're off to a really good start. Thank you. Anyone who's watching this for all of your support. I really appreciate it. We're really
72.
We're kind of excited about this project. We think it's one of our more clever ideas as of late.
Yeah. I've been kind of like nervous because we haven't done anything like this on Kickstarter in a while.
Right.
Which is weird.
Not. We've been focusing on screens mostly for a couple of years now, since 2019 almost. 2020 maybe.
1920.
Yeah.
Cool. 73. Boom. All right. So let's see here. There's a few other questions that we answered there that might be pertinent about the Reaper.
You have to trace the whole large amounts of paint bottles. Really, the system's set up for modularity. Thanks, Michael, for the question. The small tray, which is right here. This holds a dozen of the small, and this is 1 inch diameter.
Yes.
So that holds a dozen. So you could put 4 of these in a row and have 48. It's not meant to hold your entire paint collection, really, unless you want to do that on the stands. The stands also grooved. Madison, would you mind passing me one of those stands, please? So the stands are also grooved to the large dimension of 1.25 on each shelf and on the bottom to hold paint a little bit more securely. And this will hold 35 fully loaded with small paint.
Correct.
Yeah. So a couple of these in a row. These are what, 14 inches?
Those are 14 inches.
14 inches. So a couple of these in the back of your space, and you can get to 100 with 3 of these. So it's a considerable amount of paints. I know 100. You can get to 100 paints pretty quickly if you're an avid mini painter.
Yeah. And obviously there's like the one for the larger ones, the channel ones that you can kind of mix and match. Another couple questions on pricing. Same thing where we already fielded that. Happy to see the horizontal brush stand is added as an option. Very cool.
We had gotten asked that early on in production, I think through Discord users, like through our Discord playtesters, and they said it would be a good idea to have that. And we didn't have time to kind of delve into it until last week, and then we saw people suggest it on the project preview page of Kickstarter, and so we knew it had to be added. But I think it's a good solution. It's got a real mild downslope.
Yeah.
Not enough so the brushes will fall off of it, but it's a couple degrees.
Yeah.
So water will bleed out of them, paint will bleed out of them, basically.
Where is it?
We have so many tiles. We have so many tiles around.
It's over there in the maple stack on the very bottom.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah, there's like 100 tiles floating around here.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Madison. So it's going to be really hard to see here, but if you can see the decrease from this to that level, and the brushes basically sit at that. The other way.
And that's
So
so
very mild.
It keeps the tips.
Keeps the tips clean. It's not enough. You know, one of the problems I had is can't decrease it so sharply that your brush is sitting on the ground on the table. And yeah, it works really well.
Yeah.
I would use this for brushes that I was currently using, and then I would use the standing one like after I'm done, and to have more options, and then let these dry.
Cool. Ooh,
Any
got some more.
questions?
Twitch is just experiencing audio tech.
It's all my
difficulties,
fault.
but,
Oh, nobody can hear us?
No, there's just a slight echo, but
Gotcha.
Ryan's doing okay.
Echo.
78.
Nice. That's
More
great.
people, welcome aboard.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. That's a really good response, and that everybody's getting in at like the $35 level.
Yeah.
There's a couple big pledges, which we're very happy to get, but it's, yeah.
Oh, so that's a lot of material to go through.
Yep.
It's a ton of like choices and options and
It
bits
is.
and bobs.
I think people just come in, they kind of save their spot in line. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that our first tier is totally full. January was full. Yeah.
Yeah,
Already.
January's closed.
We're into.
Next one is February, and it's 75. So,
Oof, it's almost full too.
is it really?
48 to 75.
Great.
Quick.
Question on Twitch. Lindsay would like to know how big of a mini can the mini painter handle?
I've done monster minis on it, but I wouldn't suggest that. The cool thing about this, thanks for the question, Lindsay. This aluminum holds fast wherever you move it, so it's flexible and can be moved out of the way. I wouldn't feel comfortable putting like a massive frost giant on here,
Yeah.
but I've done larges on mine. I don't have any blue tack right here, but that holds it
Big board
pretty
or something.
readily. Large base is fine for it. I would go maybe as big as a huge, and I'd feel pretty comfortable.
Is there any blue sticky stuff over there?
Yeah.
Anywhere? On the table?
They're amazingly solid and really holds a good size mini.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. Takes a whole team. Takes a village.
It's a village.
So this is an Umber Hulk that I painted. I've actually painted all of these minis.
Yeah, they are yours.
And put it on there. This top will spin nicely, which is a good kind of added benefit of our new design. And you can hold it right in line. Move this wire wherever you need. The wire also spins, but it holds it pretty securely.
And you can
I
pin
could,
it.
let me do this live.
Flirting with
It's
disaster.
not bad. It's not bad. This is a resin mini. This is I think a WizKids mini. So I'm sure some of you have that
Yeah.
Umber Hulk, the same
And
one.
Obviously, there's magnets in the bottom of these boys, so they stick to the pedestal. Nah, you broke it.
Now I've done it. So yeah,
a quick switching, and I like that it makes the little clickety clackety sound. That's my favorite part.
Another question from Twitch. What would a full set of tiles cost, hypothetically?
hypothetically, we're kind of guessing around 200.
Well, there's
Oh, are you talking about one of every tile? 'Cause I think there's like a
there's
dozen
a dozen or
tiles.
15 tiles at entries like 20
20.
bucks on those.
So if you wanted one of every one, which I don't think is probably the best configuration, that'll be $300.
Something like that.
Which is that's a lot, but I would definitely use the plan your setup PDF down below that's downloadable, and then pull these out and find out exactly what fits your section.
Yeah.
I'm guessing most people are going to want multiple paint storage trays.
think
Those
we-
tiles will be the most
We
popular.
figured like 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Like if you had shelf painter and 6 tiles, we kind of
That's-
thought of that as a common.
It's what we're guessing that most people have room for and a good configuration that would work. I wouldn't buy one of every tile, personally. I'm gonna take a lot of these home after we're done with the Kickstarter, and I won't be taking one of every tile. I'll probably do, and this would be like a luxurious setup. I'd probably go with 2 painter tiles and 2 mini painters. I might do 3 shelves for behind that, kind of my shelf of shame for minis that I have yet to paint. And then I do a lot of paint holders, paint trays, like this one. I use contrast paints, so I'd probably go the bigger wells as well. And I'd make my configuration based on that, and maybe the water and the brush stand and a horizontal brush stand. So Mine would be a mix of 4 or 5 different tiles, but multiples within that. And then 3 shelves in the back.
So you do 2 layers
I would do 2 layers.
in the back, and then your stuff in the
I would do a straight row of shelves for minis that I'm about to paint, that are primed and ready.
and then like a front arc.
And then a front arc. But cool. Beauty of this is you can do what you want.
Whatever you want, yeah.
And you don't need to listen to me whatsoever. Which is pretty cool.
I've got another question from Twitch.
Sure.
Someone would like to know, will there be a post-Kickstarter service like Backer Kit where we can add additional funds and pick our tiles, or will they need to add all their funds directly on the Kickstarter?
Nope, that's a very common question. We worked with the people at Pledge Manager, and not Backer Kit, it's just a little bit different, but basically the same service. And we've worked with them on probably 20 Kickstarters, and we'll have that Pledge Manager ready about 2 weeks after the Kickstarter closes.
Yep.
And we've worked with them so long. We've been to their offices.
Oh, yeah, they're cool.
They're very cool and really easy to work with. And then they've handled projects of this level of complexity for us before with this many choices and SKUs and different woods. And it'll be easy. Easy.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. And we talked about this a little before. You could add the funds right now in the Kickstarter, which we mildly prefer.
Yeah,
just
just
to
'cause
give
of-
more velocity to the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But really, it's up to your wallet. You could add them now. That money will be withdrawn at the end of the Kickstarter in 3 weeks from today.
Yes.
And then you'll have another 2 weeks before the Pledge Manager opens. And we'll leave that open for a
for
good
a
amount
while.
of time because we're not starting fulfillment till January. So we'll probably keep that open. We'll want to have January, February people close their
Yeah.
stuff out in October, November,
Yeah.
just so we can get an idea of what materials we need to order and, kind of narrow down those choices a little bit. But we're going to do a YouTube video on that, kind of how we, at the end of the Kickstarter, it'll be the Tuesday that Kickstarter ends, correct, Ryan?
Is it Tuesday?
No, it's 2
the
weeks.
Start of the third week.
Start of the third week. And we'll kind of detail the steps that we take
Yeah.
to ensure good fulfillment and a lot of the lessons we've learned over the years.
More of the work behind the scenes.
Right. And what happens to your keystrokes that go into the computer and how we transform that.
That's deep, man.
Yeah, it is.
The electrical signals from your brain go to your fingers, go into the keys, go into electricity, and go somewhere else. Cool.
Good.
85 backers,
That's
man.
great.
Holy shit.
Any more comments?
Yeah.
We good? Good. That means we've done a good job
I think so.
because people understand.
I guess.
Remind me to add an FAQ when we get back.
Can do.
What's
Thank you.
what's the count on the stream? Do we know? 11?
1,001?
1,000 people?
1,001.
Wow.
551.
And we're going to do another one of these at 4 for the folks that couldn't jump in this
Right.
afternoon because it's a weird time
I
of the
think we
day.
might do a little painting then too.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Painting?
We'll see.
All right. Yeah, I could do that.
Painty.
I'm not a pro. I do enjoy it.
Professional amateur.
I'm an amateur.
Profamateur.
Just straight up amateur, not professional at all.
85 backers.
In painting. I'm at work.
How many minis do you think you've painted in your life?
I actually know that number. No, I don't actually, because I painted when I was a kid, and I don't have those minis anymore. I know where they're at, and I have
This
access.
sounds complicated.
But I've painted about 215 since day one of lockdown.
Oh wow.
So-
Is that when you started again?
No, I started a little bit before that, but that's when I really got full on painting again, and I painted a lot during lockdown, which was
Do you
great.
have a favorite? Like, what's your favorite thing you painted? Your favorite dude? Your favorite painting?
Like my single favorite dude.
Yeah, like you're like, this is the one that I'm
It's
putting in the glass case.
Moloch. It's a 3D print that I got off of Etsy of a demon Moloch for my campaign that I want to run. I'm running Strahd right now,
I
but
like that guy.
yeah, he's pretty cool. This is from Malifaux, actually. No. This is Steamforged. This is Guild Ball, which is now defunct, and a damn
really?
shame because it was a really cool game and incredible miniatures. Steamforged is still going strong, and they are rocking the miniature game.
What is your least favorite And is it
My least
not
favorite-
all the stormtroopers for Legion?
Stormtroopers I don't mind whatsoever. They're actually really easy, and I can rock through them pretty quick. I white prime them, black detail, add some dry brush highlights, and then Nuln Oil on the bottom. Or no, I think I use Army Painter Strong Tone. I have it written down at home, but I think it's Army Painter Strong Tone, and then I just base them differently.
Do you wish you had one of those Nuln Oil things
Holders?
that we talked about in that one video?
Yeah, I don't think we didn't put that on the Kickstarter page, but I might push for it. I'll take those home.
The Nuln Oil. I'm smashing your minis.
So we got a couple questions here.
the blue?
Another quick one from Lindsay saying, "What mini games are you playing right now?" Well, clearly none right now.
None right now,
None.
literally.
I'm playing Star Wars.
We do. My fiance is a game designer, so we play a lot of games. Every game that we're playing currently with minis: Legion, Monster Apocalypse, Clank, Legacy, the deck building game, which is pretty cool. We painted those minis.
My wife painted the art.
Yeah.
That was the first thing she did at Hell.
Those minis are
Yeah.
cool. They're a little like comic for my taste, a little
Yeah.
simple.
It's only 4.
Yeah, it's only 4, and the dragon.
And the dragon.
Yep,
Her dragon looks dope.
yep.
Find a picture of that.
Monster Apocalypse is really cool. I DM, so I paint a bunch of vampires like this one for Strahd. So I've painted a lot of vampires and a lot of wolves.
We have another question from.
Oh, and Zombicide 2.0. I completely forgot about that, even though now I look at that.
That entire
That's a
shelf.
good amount of my 220 minis that I've painted is Zombicide.
T-Rex Goes Roar asks, "Do you have any presence at the Michigan Ren Fest?"
We have.
We have before, yeah.
We had before, and then it got shut down.
Yep.
And I think we're not trying this year.
No, I'd like to go back.
It's coming up. It's coming up soon. One of our production lead actually is
Yeah, it's like a
like
VIP.
a VIP there.
Oh, wow.
So he always wants us to get there to go back.
Like
And
the turkey leg.
We had a building. We were signed up for one of those buildings at Ren Fair, which was really cool because the year before we just had a tent
Yeah.
out by the jousting area, kind of off in the field, and we did really well there. It was really cool. I think we were the only like TTRPG presence there whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
And that's what T-Rex here had pointed out, is that they seeing a lot of merchants there catering to that crowd.
yeah. We were there one weekend. We did really well,
Yeah.
and then we got in the next weekend or the next year for a full building, but then it got canceled.
Yeah.
So, and we haven't. I don't think we've reached out to them. I have to talk to Jeremiah about that, but I don't think we're planning on being there this year. I could be wrong, but hopefully next year we'll be back in full swing. I would love to. Love
Did
that
you
place.
know
It's so fun.
It's a good time.
That in A Knight's Tale, when they're splintering their lances, that's dread spaghetti when it's flying through the air.
Really?
Wow.
That's how they made that look.
Those are dangerous because it still like got him in the chest.
That's a cool movie.
It's like really long dried spaghetti.
Then they have to boil them to get it out.
It only hurt him though when he switched the ends for something that was more. So you can use dried spaghetti, but if you put a real metal end on it.
No, just for the pieces flying in the air. They use ravioli when they're actually stabbing them.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
I see, yeah.
Raviolis
Death
works.
by
Nothing
pasta.
like
It's a little squishier.
It's
pillows.
rectangular pasta for a full.
Should they have used gnocchi then?
Gnocchi would be better.
Pastas?
Yep.
Graydon Smith asks, "Have you guys done any work for any live play campaigns?"
Yes, a lot. Exandria Unlimited, Calamity,
So
a lot of crit roll ones, Vampire,
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
The Hellfire Club.
Yep. We're on G4. B. Dave Walters
Yeah.
is a good friend of the company, and he was on like G4 and Netflix, running his campaign with one of our screens.
WWE.
WWE in a weird combo of industries. Very surprising, but yeah, we were on Up Down Down on WWE. I think that's the weirdest email
Yeah.
most surprising email that we ever had was
Cool,
Lindsay
man.
ran in and said, "Hey, WWE wants to work with us," and I'm like, I did not expect that ever.
Yeah, it's
In a
really
million
cool.
years.
I remember when we were a lot smaller, it was like a really big deal for us
Mm-hmm.
to like get someone, and it's kind of turned into like they come to us now. It's fantastic.
Which is cool.
So cool.
It's still a big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
anytime Crit Roll
Well, yeah.
appears in my inbox, that's a pretty cool fan moment.
I have a question from Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
Tim and Sydney would like to know, quote, I have never used a paint handle like your design before, and I'm wondering how well it handles larger scale minis.
Mm-hmm.
I have a set of 75mm figures I'm working on and would love some stabilization, but from the pictures, I'm pretty sure most of them would hit the braided wiring. Is it movable at all for taller or larger pieces, or is it best for 28 to 35mm scale only?
It is best for 28 to 30 millimeter, 32 millimeter for sure. But you can move it out of the way
Am I off
completely. I would definitely pin a model if I was doing a 72 millimeter on there. But I wouldn't like. I don't want to oversell it. It's probably not best for massive minis. But if you can pin them in separate parts, I know a lot of 72 millimeter come in different parts. You could certainly pin those individually onto the piece, blue tack them on.
I mean, the magnetics are.
Have fun typing that in. Sorry, you have to dictate onto the.
I'm not dictating them right now.
Okay.
No.
The magnets are
I'm
fairly
going to forward
strong.
them to you to do later.
All right, sounds good.
Like it would take a lot of weight to.
Yeah, they're
knock
pretty
it off while you're
strong.
using it.
Follow-up question, have we considered putting together a calculator tool for determining which tiles and prices they would want?
I just asked Cameron about that today, and I'll probably push him to do this before
I'm really
before we
busy.
end.
I do all of the
Can we promise
modeling.
them?
It's a lot of SKUs. Let me think about it.
Okay.
'Cause it's a ton of work.
They make a really great point that the PDF that we gave is a really great tool if you have access to a printer.
Right.
Not everyone has access to a printer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
could print it and mail it to you.
We can.
I think these would fit in a normal
That sounds
envelope.
like something I would have to do.
That does sound like
Yeah.
something you'd have to do.
Yep, and Anne's gonna do that. Anybody who wants to reach
Send
out
an
to Ann.
email to info@dogmite.com
And
if
we'll
you
make
really
it
want
happen.
one, and we'll
We
make
can
it
do
happen.
Do you back the Kickstarter for $1 and get that?
Yes. If
No,
you
it's
just
$5.
want the
It's $5.
paper version of the
Paper
mini
version.
painting system,
That's all you get.
it'll help you keep organized, I guess. Technically,
You can look at it and be sad that
thank
you
you.
went back.
it would be really hard to put magnets in the side, just as a warning.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't
Drilling
know if
into
they
this would be tough.
They would.
Okay, how thin can you make a magnet? How thin can God make a magnet?
30 seconds.
Let's not go to religion on our second Twitch stream
Can
ever.
God make a magnet so thin that it won't attract himself?
What's the meme? Through God, all things are possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Write that down.
That's not a meme. That's just the Bible.
If I moved halfway toward you, and then I moved halfway again, and then halfway again, I would never reach you, and it would take forever.
It's just like folding a piece of paper.
Please, somebody ask a question. Please. Someone. Anyone.
Let's see where we're at.
Have you painted any minis yourself with this? I know we've done a lot of work these past couple of weeks, like shooting a bunch of video, but have you gotten a chance to actually do it yourself?
I have used this a number of times, and I like it a lot. I have the old mini painter that we used to make that didn't have the removable cap, and I built myself a basic stand for 4 of them, and I've been using that for over 2 years now.
And then you're taking the Zerakote.
I am not taking the Zerakote. Cameron won't allow me to, but I have taken some of the maple tiles home and tried it out. We also have Maker Day on Saturdays, and the crew has been using them over the weekends. And
Jeremiah loves this thing.
Jeremiah and Owen and AJ all loved it. Anne, have you tried it yet?
I have not tried it yet.
Why is that?
I have my own painting system. I have my own painting setup.
From
But
are we missing? Is that why we're missing tiles?
No. I bought something from another company before we thought of this, and I already dropped $200 on my painting setup.
Well, that's a shame. Sorry about that. Which one would you prefer to have?
I don't have a dedicated paint space, and mine is designed to be a portable.
Portable, I got you.
It's
All right.
designed to be portable.
Understand.
So,
94
if I had
backers.
a dedicated station, I would make one of these
Gotcha.
for myself.
We were thinking about we don't like stretch goals a whole lot because they're messy and they mess up a plan that we've worked on very hard to make sure it's concise and we're ready for it. But we were thinking about doing like silly employee stretch goals.
Yeah.
Like if we hit 1,000 backers, are you shaking your head?
I'm worried.
If we hit 1,000 backers, we're going to give one of these to our employees.
Oh.
To our one employee. that wants it.
Maybe we let them vote on the employee.
Yeah, we've let the backers vote on the employee that gets it with very little information whatsoever. And then, but I don't know if backers would be interested in this or not, because it absolutely does nothing for them whatsoever.
Well, it's entertaining, though.
It might be entertaining. Or it could
T-Rex
not be.
Go Rar wants to know, how does the wood handle, how does it handle getting wet?
Very well.
Assuming you knock over paint water.
Yep. We did the gifts on the page. If you simply spill it on there, it's going to be resistant and will wipe off with a dry towel.
Yeah.
No damage whatsoever. If you leave it in there, it's going to have an effect on the finish. I don't think it'll warp the wood, but it'll probably evaporate before it did any serious damage. There's 2 coats of catalyzed sealer and lacquer on each tile, and it's very water resistant. Clearly, wood and water are not the best of friends.
Don't paint in the bathtub.
Yeah, but it really is surprisingly resistant. I've done a test on dried paint on this, and I think we're going to do that for one of the updates. I'll put paint on it, leave it on, and then what I did was use my fingernail, and I don't have very good fingernails, and I scratched off the paint and then wiped the rest off with a wet towel. It worked fairly well.
Yeah.
I want to do a little bit more testing to see how long I can leave it on there and see what happens to it. But other than that, it works pretty well.
Actually, there's a bit of a follow-up, because Lindsay asked after that, how does everything clean up for those of us who aren't really clumsy?
Yeah, very well. I because of my ancestry, I'm a klutzy person as well.
Polish.
I am Polish, and that
For some
leads to a
jokes.
lot of spills in my household. And yeah, I'm not worried about it. And really, honestly, if you ever have such a huge mess up that it's terrible, we'll replace it for free.
Lifetime guarantee, baby.
Yep. Whether it's your fault or ours, we'll make it right.
Yeah, it's broken.
And most of the time, like a lot of these tiles, we can sand right down again and refinish, and they'll be fine.
It's peasy.
Yep.
97, we're going to crest 100 backers here in a second.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to try a transition, but make sure that you guys can still talk.
Do it.
I don't know what that
If
means.
worked.
I don't know what you mean.
I threw up some B-roll from some of the videos.
Oh, cool.
I shot, so you see people working on it. But I want to make sure that we can still hear you guys.
Right.
I want to come over there and look at the thing.
That's good.
It looks like it's...
Here, this is the red heart. Are you still B-rolling?
Oh, no, I'm going to swap back for you.
So this is the red heart. I haven't wiped it other than like this and like this. Let's just leave this here and see what happens.
Let's put some water in
It's
it.
basically dry right now. Yeah, let's put some water in it. Just a smidge.
Speaking of red heart,
That's a lot.
T-Rex Go Rar would like to know, what are your personal favorite woods? Draconis?
Somebody knows me well. We're going to leave that much water in there?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see what happens.
Just like a centimeter of water.
There's a centimeter of water in there. That's pretty scary. Red heart is my favorite. Pardon? Red heart is my favorite, which makes it even more distressing that Cameron just put a centimeter of water into one of the large wells. Yeah, red heart. I love red heart. It acts just like black walnut
It does,
as far as ease of work and ease on the machines. Wonderful to sand, final finish, and just has a little bit more variation. I have the original red heart dragon tray. It's an Ouroboros that I have hanging in my game room at home. And it's gorgeous. It's been out in full sun.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more orange on the front than it is on the back.
Yeah.
It's fairly dramatic, but it still looks like red heart. And it still has color. It's just a little bit more orange.
Red heart mellows a little bit in direct sunlight.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it lightens a smidge.
Swinge.
What about you?
Oh, black walnut for sure. Yes, most woodworkers, they'll tell you black walnut because it's domestic, readily available, awesome to work with. One of the best woods to work with. A lot of really dense woods will hurt your hands. Like it's unsanded, rough lumber, you can get splinters and things like that. And if you handle a ton of lumber, you certainly notice it.
As we used to.
As we used to. We don't anymore.
Yeah.
Not allowed. But walnuts, it's beautiful. It's easy. It works nicely. It's strong. It's light. So a lot of really, really nice characteristics of that wood.
Yep.
Takes a stain, or not stain, but takes a finish really nice. Yeah.
It
You
will
get, a
take
lot
a
of,
stain too. It just doesn't show up very well.
you get a lot of
We've tried it.
sapwood can be really striking in some pieces. We tend to like try to keep it fairly consistent in a product like this, but a lot of the in-stock stuff that you check out the website, there's some like really striking variations. It can go from like a buttery, almost like a golden yellow, to like a really dark brown. So I'm a walnut man.
Do you want to know something odd about walnut?
No.
Fair enough.
99.
Next question.
One more
Ask and answer.
backer, and we're at 100.
The walnut we get is bleached walnut. They sell it unbleached, and unbleached walnut has a lot more purples, a lot more sapwood visible, and almost like a reddish tone going through it, but it's not consistent whatsoever and not what normal people who buy wood
Yeah.
want, which is crazy. And we've gotten unbleached walnut before, surprisingly much more expensive,
Yeah.
which doesn't make any sense to my logistical brain.
Maybe they plant the trees in bleach and then they grow.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I was really surprised when talking with Chad,
Oh,
our
yeah?
mill guy. Yep.
Our wood guy.
Our
It's
wood
coming
guy.
today. We're getting a big load of wood today.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
You need spare black walnut. The squirrels keep planting little trees in our backyard.
Cool.
It's a long wait from plant to harvest.
Couple months, right?
It's just a couple months.
I've got 2 or 3 massive black walnut trees on my acreage, but it's down a swamp. So when they like clear cut Michigan, they couldn't get to the really wet areas. I had a guy come in and he's like, I can't. There's no way. Like I can't get down there. And these are like 200-300-year-old trees.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm like, I could make so much out of those, but can't get them. 100 backers. Woo!
Yay!
We got a Kickstarter comment, but I'm not sure what it means. It just says +1.
Is there a comment above it? Because that's usually what it means.
Let's see.
It will not show me on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Oh, it's a
perfect
plus
way
one to the one above it.
in the stream.
The amount in the pledge.
staring at our phone. As
Fair.
we
Sorry.
fade out to black. No, but it's been about 30 minutes.
Mhm.
I think we answered some questions.
Sounds
We
good.
did 100 people,
Great.
and I think maybe
Both
it's a
good
time.
things.
Good things.
Cool. We'll be back at 4.
Yeah.
For anyone who missed this one.
We can check out the centimeter of water. Join us for the gripping conclusion of a centimeter water
what's gonna
in a
happen?
red heart paint tile tray.
All right.
All right.
Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.